Here we go. Here we go. So we're in the second part of day two, reading through the Bible, one chapter at a time, one verse at a time. And so the format for this is it's starting us off in this plan that I got, um, digging deeper into the Word of God. And so the way it's set up, it starts off with in Genesis, reading Genesis, Job, and beginning in the book of Mark. And we already did chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 in Genesis. And yesterday we did chapter 1 in Job, and we did the first half of the chapter 1 of Mark. And later on tonight, the nightcap, we're going to be reading, finishing up the first chapter in Mark. It's broken up for a reason. But what we're going to start now, right now, is we're going to be reading in the book of Job, the book of Job, chapter 2. We're going to be in chapter 2 of Job. Um, I didn't give an introduction to this book, so I'm gonna read a little something here. I'm reading out of this study Bible. Who wrote the book? The author of the book is of the book of Job is unknown. Some suggest that one of the characters in the book could have written it, perhaps either Job himself or Ahuluth, the fourth friend who speaks towards the end of the story. It is also possible that the various writers or editors who comprised the material over many years recorded the story after it had been passed down through several generations of Israelites. So, who was Job? The wealthy landowner and faithful godly father is one of the most famous biblical heroes, but we know little more than the fact that God allowed Satan to strip him of everything he had without warning because the Lord knew that Job would not reject him. And so we're going to be we yesterday we read, hi, how everybody's doing? How everybody doing today? So we read chapter 1 of Job yesterday. Earlier I read Genesis. If you wasn't joining me in the Genesis reading, you could go back on the replay and read that. But we're going to be reading, and we're going into the second chapter of Job. And we did chapter 1, and we're going to be doing the second chapter of Job. And let's get into this. It's only 11 verses, so stay with me here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Leave me a comment down below. So one day, the members of heaven court came again to the presence to present themselves before the Lord, and the accuser Satan came with them. Where have you come from? The Lord asked Satan. Satan answered the Lord, I have been patrolling the earth, watching everything that's going on. Then the Lord asked Satan, have you noticed my servant Job? He is the finest man in all the earth. He is blameless, a man of complete integrity. He fears God and stay away from evil, and he has maintained his integrity even through even though you urge me to harm him without cause. Satan replied to the Lord, skin for skin, a man will give everything he has to save his life, but reach out and take away his health, and he will surely curse you to your face. All right, down with him as you please. All right, do with him as you please. I'm sorry. The Lord said to Satan, but spare his life. So Satan left the Lord's presence and struck Job with terrible boils from his head to his foot. Job scraped his skin with a piece of broken potter as he sat among the ashes. His wife said to him, are you still trying to maintain your integrity? Curse God and die. But Job replied, you talk like a foolish woman. Should we accept only good things from the hand of God and never anything bad? So in all this, Job said nothing wrong. So that it's only 11 chapters in the second chapter of Job. And so that was quick. But we only 6 minutes into this video. So um we're gonna go through, we're gonna read through this Bible. If you later on, the nightcap, we're gonna be reading through Mark. The second half of Mark, we're gonna be reading through that. So the first, how this thing is gonna work, this is how it's gonna work. So the early part of the day, I'm gonna do Genesis. I'm gonna read through Genesis. Midday or around this time, I'm gonna be doing Job for right now. When we finish Job, till we finish Job. And the nightcap is going to be from the New Testament, the Gospel of Mark. And we're going to do the second half of Mark this evening. So I just did Job, the second chapter of Job. And tomorrow, this time we're going to be doing Job, the third chapter. We're going to read through this Bible. I want to stay with me on this. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel as we take this journey through the Word of God. Through the Word of God. Join me on this journey. Every day, we'll be reading the Word of God. Every day. And by the way, I'm reading with the New Living Translation. Yesterday, I was reading the King James. It's kind of hard to read the King James, to be honest with you. I can read it, but it's a thee and the thou makes it a little more challenging. And this New Living Translation, it's gonna make it a little easier for us to understand it and to read it. So join me tomorrow. We'll be reading tomorrow. We'll be in Genesis 4 and again. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, peace.